Hey everyone, I'm Lydia from Novelty, and today we're talking about my top 5 favorite book releases from the first 5 months of 2017. The first book on my list is The Lost Girl of Asher Street by Stephanie Morel, and I was so excited to get to review this book early and be part of the street team to get the word out about it because I love Stephanie's writing. I have been following her blog, Go Teen Writers, for about 7 years now, and I call Stephanie my writing mentor because I have learned so much from her. Her writing is amazing. This is my favorite nonfiction book of hers, and it takes place during the Roaring 20s and is about a girl named Piper and her best friend named Lydia. It's not after me, but still I like it. And there's this mystery and plot twists and great world building and character development and stuff I had never expected to happen in the book happened, and I was like, oh my goodness, did that just really happen? So yeah. The second book in my list is Control Girl by Shannon Popkin, and it is a nonfiction book that ended up being exactly what I needed to read when I was reading it. The tagline is Lessons on Surrendering Your Burden of Control from 7 Women in the Bible. And it goes through these 7 women's lives, and they're like, here's her story, here's what she did, here's how she was a control freak, and here's how it messed up stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it was so eye-opening. Book number 3 is Lovelace Here by Maria Goff. And if you've been around Novelty for any length of time, you've probably heard me gushing about Bob Goff and his book Love Does. Well, Maria is his wife, and her book ties in with his book, but they're also totally separate. And I highly recommend both of them. They are so amazing, and even if you don't get their books, you should follow them on Twitter or look them up on YouTube and watch their stuff or something. They have the most amazing lives. They live extraordinary lives and are serving God like full force and are so inspiring. Book number 4 is Forensic Faith by J. Warner Wallace. And this book was so fun to read and so convicting and interactive and practical and all these amazing things all mixed together. It was not what I had imagined, and it's way better than what I thought it would be. It's written by a former atheist who is a cold case detective, and he goes through Christianity and God and the Bible and all that kind of stuff in the same way that he would go through a cold case that he's working on and say, okay, logically, here's what the evidence is, what's going on here, what does this mean, etc., etc. And it's so cool because I learned so much about how to defend my faith and why I believe what I believe and all that great kind of stuff. And I highly recommend it, not only for Christians but also for non-Christians, because I think all y'all would find it interesting, and if nothing else, it's really intriguing. Number 5 is actually a whole series, which kind of is cheating maybe a little bit, but I'm making the rules up, so I'm fine with that. The last book in the series was released 2 days ago, so it is a 2017 release, so that's how I'm counting it. But I just found out about this author, let's say like 5 weeks ago, and I was so amazed and loved her writing right away. And the series is the Kennedy Stern Christian Suspense series by Alana Terry. And if you know me, you know I do not normally read suspense books because they're normally creepy or scary or just like plain weird. But this book, this whole series, actually there's 6 books in the series. Their names are Unplanned, Paralyzed, Policed, Straightened, Turbulence, and Infected. And they're all really interesting, and they are kind of like, oh my goodness, what is going to happen next? And it's a great mystery, but without making me feel scared to be by myself, that kind of thing, because I do not like books that make me scared to be by myself. I really like Miss Alana's writing style and her characters and her settings, and I cannot wait to read more of her books. So those are my top 5 book releases from 2017, the first 5 months.